Welcome to Module 2. I'd like to thank everyone for turning in some amazing reflections for Module 1. It was very evident in the work that you submitted that you took the time and put effort into reflecting on current practices and also reflecting on things that you want to incorporate into your classroom from this course. Our learning goal for Module 2 is to gain a deeper understanding of number sense, and the learning activities that we will be participating in for this module are to explore some number sense routines and some resources I've collected, and to reflect on current practices. So there are a couple things from the reading this week that I wanted to touch base with you guys on. So you'll find on page 34 that the book makes reference to two different types of subitizing, perceptual and conceptual. So perceptual subitizing is being able to visualize or recognize amounts, usually 5 or fewer. And this develops at an early age. However, you may find that you have first or second graders that still don't have this established. Then after perceptual subitizing is conceptual. So conceptual subitizing is recognizing those small amounts and being able to combine them to see a unit. So when you're planning for the number talks that you're going to do with your students or the number sense routines, I want you to keep in mind of where your students are currently in their learning. So I'm really big on learning goals and making learning visual for students and making sure that when you're planning for your students that you're being very intentional in why you're doing something. So you will read on page 36 that visuals and images of amounts help with several learning goals. So when you're planning on what you're going to implement into your classroom for this module, I just want you to keep your goal in mind when you're planning. Why are you doing the routine that you're doing with your students? Why did you choose these numbers? Why did you choose these images? Keep that in mind as you plan so that you're very intentional and your lesson has a purpose. So I had a second grade teacher that approached me earlier this week, and she said, I have some concerns about a good chunk of my students. They are really weak in number sense. And my comment always is, tell me more about that, because everybody has a different definition of what number sense really means. So they had done some work with a hundreds chart and they didn't see the patterns. They weren't able to put the numbers in order. They didn't understand the magnitude of numbers, which number was bigger, which number was smaller. When asked, what's one more than a number, they struggled with that. So I said to her as we were trying to problem solve, what could we put in place for these kids? I was reminded of this quote that I read in the reading for this week. The conceptualization of quantity is foundational to number sense. As students' abilities to visualize amounts improve, their number sense improves. The strategies and mental math become efficient and quick. So I suggested to this teacher, why don't we use the first 3, 4, 5 minutes of your math intervention time to do some quick images with dot patterns. And I explained to her the perceptual subitizing and then the conceptual subitizing and how I really think this will give us, or the students, fill in some gaps for them. And if we can get them to begin to conceptually subitize and see small amounts and combine those amounts, that we may see their number sense improve overall in all of those tasks and activities that they're asked to do. So I want you to think about this. This really stuck out to me. Think about this as you work with your students, especially if you're in in the upper grades and you have students that are struggling. Is there a way that you can go back and build some of this into their daily routines? So I just wanted to start out by introducing some of the resources that I've collected for you to explore through this module and also Module 3. The first two links are teaching channel videos. If you have not taken the chance to explore the teaching channel, it has links to a ton of videos with instructional practices in action. If you are a visual learner, this is a great tool for you to use. I've linked 2 videos of dot images being used and put a little description behind there so you have an idea of when they would be used and for what grade levels. But you can type anything in. Number Talks, they will go up as far as 5th, 6th grade, and you can watch teachers putting practices in action. Vandewalle was a mathematician who really did some of the foundational work in building number sense. So the resource that I have from him included in this module is his dot cards, and he has written, he's no longer with us, but he has written a lot of good books. And so if you find anything out there on number sense and you see his name, it's a good resource that is reliable for you. Another resource that I'm going to introduce you guys to this week, if you haven't already, is Steve Wyborny. Steve Wyborny is a teacher in Oregon who has made it his mission to create number sense building materials for teachers to use with their students. And let me tell you, these are amazing. We are going to start this week just by looking at the 100 subitizing slides that he has created for teachers. We will be exploring the 20 days of number sense and rich math talk, as well as the ESTA mysteries. We will be talking about those in either Module 3 or Module 4. But for now, for this week, just look at those subitizing slides that he's already created for you. So another one of my favorite math people right now is found on buildmathminds.com, and she is Christina, and she calls herself the Recovering Traditionalist. And she has collected a ton of information for teachers to use. Most of it you can retrieve for free. She has a free vlog, a video vlog that she does. She also has, if you are at all into podcasts, she has a podcast that are just short little informational sessions that talk about resources that she really likes and has found helpful. But for now, I want you guys to look at the free trainings on her website. You can get a subscription. It is pricey. So there is a ton of information though just in the free trainings. So go to free trainings, check out her vlog. You will find that there are links to number sense, and the link that I actually have in our resources guide, the Word document, will take you right to the video that I want you to watch. And if you are a K2 teacher, you just need to watch until I think it's like minute 15. And if you are, I know we have some people in the class that are actually working with students that are in 5th and 6th grade. You can continue to watch the video if you want. She has some great things that you may be able to take away and use with your students as well. All right, the last resource that we're going to talk about this week is Graham Fletcher. If you have done some of the 3-act tasks that were in our launch guides for the Papillion-La Vista School District, then you are already familiar with Graham. The things that I want you guys to explore this week, I have put links to, but they are under fresh ideas on his website. Something else I wanted to post is his progression videos. So click on early number and counting, and he does a really quick video of the progression of early number and counting, and it's amazing. You will be able to think of your students and you'll be able to place them in that continuum of learning, and it'll then give you an idea of what your next step should be with those students. All of those progression videos are amazing. if you're a special education teacher and you work with kids across a variety of grade levels, any one of those, you'll be able to watch the progression through addition and subtraction. You'll be able to identify where your students lie in that continuum of learning and then what they should be able to do next. They are a great resource. All right, guys, your homework for Module 2 is due on September 22nd. I'm going to have you guys read pages 33 through 48 in your book. It is not the entire chapter, it's only part of it, and that's because there is so much included in visual routines and so many resources out there that we're actually going to split visual routines over modules 2, 3, and 4. The second part of your homework is to explore the Subitizing resources I've collected and posted. They're in a Word document. You'll see links to websites or links to videos. And then the last part of your homework for the module is from the resources you explored or the reading that you did, make or try something new with your students. Okay, so I just want you to get in there and try something new with them. Then I want you to write a half-page reflection and include a picture of the materials you made and of you using them with your class. Now, there are some things that the materials are already made for you. You don't actually have to make anything. So just take a picture of what you use and you using them with your class, and that will be good for that. If your reflection goes over half a page, again, that's not a big deal. I want you to be able to communicate and reflect on all of your learning, so however long it takes for you to do that. And just remember that we'll be exploring these resources for 3 modules, so really take your time and really dig in. You may only explore a couple this week or this 2 weeks, and that's okay. You will have time to explore all of them. I will also be adding a few more as the modules go. So have a great 2 weeks. As always, if you need anything, please reach out to me.